I don't want to misquote you, but if I recall, I think you said that you cannot be sexist against men. Is that correct? And you can't be racist against white people.
Oof.
Yeah. So when we came to the mutual understanding.
Well, you got to hear this one. I'm just kidding.
Honestly,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We came to the mutual understanding of like the definition of racism and sexism in this context. So it was power and what was the other word that you had used?
You're saying prejudice.
Well, so
Power and prejudice, yes.
that wasn't my definition, but we provided that because you were seeking the definition of sexism is prejudice plus power, or racism is prejudice plus power.
Yeah, that was the clarification that was given to your question.
Yeah.
So your question was, well, how do you see it? And Brian said, I see it as prejudice plus power. Then is that what you mean? And you said, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I don't agree with that definition, though. But
okay. Well, then I appreciate you for providing that definition, because I think it's a good one when we're talking about sexism and racism in this context. I think that people can have prejudices, like a white or a black person can have prejudice against white people. As a matter of fact, they do have prejudice against white people because it's generational and stuff like that.
So
but
here, I'll just ask the questions, and I guess you can say yes or no. Can you be racist against a white person?
No.
Can you be sexist against men?
No.
Okay. I want to go around the table on this because why not? But I will come back to that. Pixie, your answer?
Yeah, you can be racist towards white people, and you can totally be sexist towards men.
Okay. Or actually, hold on. I'm going to ask you too. Actually, I'll ask you. Go ahead.
I don't really feel like you can be racist towards white people, but I feel like prejudice towards men. I don't really feel like you can be
sexist against men.
Yeah.
Yes, but you can't be racist against white people.
I mean, I feel like there's probably like extreme examples, but I just don't feel comfortable with that. I feel like that word holds so much weight that is harder for a white person to experience, but there's definitely probably like situations.
Okay, what about you?
I think you can.
Can you be racist against white people? Can you be sexist against men?
That's a hard question. You can be sexist towards men.
Towards men? Okay.
Yes. And
can you be racist against white people?
No.
Okay. Alexa, what about you?
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
Sexist.
Nala, can you be racist against white people? Can you be sexist against men?
You cannot. I mean, yes, you can be racist towards white people. I think it goes with anyone.
Okay.
Ethnically. Sexist towards men, absolutely.
What about you?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Wait, can I change my answer?
Can you change your answer? What's your new answer?
Based on the consensus of the table.
What was your original answer?
You can't be
what? No.
racist.
What? Change your answer? How?
I think you can be racist towards white people. I think obviously it really depends on what.
Sure. Now, my follow-up question is, for those of you who said no to either, wouldn't it be racist and or sexist to simply state that you cannot be racist against a white person or that you cannot be sexist against men?
I think it's just a perspective. Because I don't.
Okay, if you say you can't be racist against white people, you are saying that white people do not face any sort of discrimination or prejudice due to their race. Ergo, you've made some sort of judgment call about white people, which to me would be racist.
So that type of judgment made towards white people wouldn't be one of like a bias in judging of their character. So the way that I'm envisioning racism in this example is having biases and then having those biases having biases against the character simply because of race, and then having those biases impact these groups of people on a systemic basis or level. Me thinking that you can't be racist to white people, it's just It's not saying that you can't be prejudiced against white people, because I already stated that I think black people and other people of color do have a lot of prejudice against white people. I think that exists, but I don't think that, at least in America, from what I understand in America, white people are not oppressed systemically, and they do not experience systemic racism.
What about white women? I thought you said earlier, you said women were oppressed.
So
I'm a
but
little
they're not
confused.
oppressed because of their race. They are oppressed because of their gender. So there's a lot
I
of
see what you're
intersectional
saying. Okay.
issues, and they kind of overlap. Like a white disabled person can be oppressed because they're
So
disabled.
intersectionality.
And, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a explanation when it comes to why you think you can't be racist against white people?
I mean, because it's kind of like, just like what she was saying, like it's systemic against other races. Like with white people, it's like people think you're corny, or like certainly I feel like this like the type of things you're gonna face are gonna be more like in social situations versus like if you're a person of color, it goes down way deeper than just social situations. It's systemic.
Okay. So, and was it just you who thinks? I think you said you could be sexist. You can be sexist against men, correct? Or I thought it was just you who said that.
I think
but
it might have been just me.
Or
I don't. Did I say you could be sexist towards men?
can you be sexist against men?
I mean, like, actually, yes. Now that I
Okay.
think about it, yes. Now that I think of examples, yes.
So wait,
'Cause
question.
People
Can-
say men can't get raped and shit like that, which I think is really messed up.
Wait,
Sorry.
you think men? Hold on.
When people say that, I think that's an awful thing to say. That was the thing
Wait,
in
you
my
think
head.
it's awful for people to say that? Wait, I'm a little confused.
That
Do you
men
believe,
can't get SA'd and stuff
Do you
like
believe
that?
that men can't get SA'd?
No, they can.
Oh, okay,
They definitely
okay.
can, and they do.
That's fine. So, I have a question. So, can a black person? They can't be racist against a white person.
Like, there's probably.
That's for both of you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess it's
Could
prejudice.
could a Latino person be racist against a white person?
No.
Can an Asian person be racist against a white person? No?
So okay, for this conversation,
Are you
we're gonna
saying
keep it
Asian
in America.
Americans, despite being minorities, have
I feel like we're talking about
power in?
And
or-
I can only speak on in the U.S. Like,
Okay. Well, there are Asian Americans and Latino Americans.
Yeah, no, I was
and
just
Black
saying that.
Americans.
I was-
But okay, can blacks be racist? Can black people be racist against Asian people?
I think it's a different type of racism, because black people do not have the power to uphold that racism against Asian people. The most it would be a bias or a colorism.
You realize how racist that is to say, right?
Totally.
Just to say black people can't do anything. Like, it's like, what? Like, I'm sorry. Is there something genetically off with black people that they like can't manage to like navigate? Like, where's this line of reasoning go? It's so racist to be like, black people cannot. I know that you're talking about like a group, but it's just like, bigotry of low expectation is still racism. It's still a problem. It's not okay.
Yeah, and I understand that point. But I don't think that's what I'm trying to say, and I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, or like in a way that is not effectively communicating what I am trying to say.
I can ask.
Black people are capable of doing things, like, duh. And just because they are, I mean, like.
Oh shit.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Are Latinos are Asian? Can Asian people be racist against black people?
I'm going to say yes, because culturally.
It's interesting that you're quicker to say that Asians can be racist against black people, but black people can't be racist against Asians. That's interesting to me.
That's because of the level of information that I have, or knowledge that I have. But I do think, I don't know if I would call it racist. From what I understand, it is more colorist. So Asian people, from what I understand, again, have cultural biases that lead them to prefer fairer skin culturally, and they have more maybe respect for fairer skin than darker skin. So if you notice, like in Asian culture, the lower income people or communities, I guess, have darker skin tones, and then the wealthier communities have fairer skin tones.
So like they sell like skin bleaching products and certain things.
Yeah, so that's more colorist. It's more based on like the actual instead of the race itself, it's just the color. Because you're like a dark Asian person is still Asian.
Just to ask you the same. Okay, just to ask you the same question. Like, can a black person be racist against a white person?
Because I feel like it's like if a white person is being racist towards a black person, it's like the reason
One's worse.
Like when she was talking about like in like how Asian people, like there's the colorism in the communities where their skin bleaching and it's kind of seen as more attractive to be fair. Like obviously as a black person, if you see that in their culture, like you can kind of assume that same logic is going to apply onto you. So I'm not saying that justifies racism, but I'm saying I feel like the basis of like black people being, you know, maybe wanting to date within their race is because they've seen maybe people of white or Asian families having very racist parents, or, you know, fetishizing them or certain things, versus like the reason that they might be more like hesitant to do that. See, like the reason for it is like not just some random general hate. It's because of the racism that they've experienced themselves. It's like a defense thing.
Can I ask a question? Can a black person be racist towards an Asian person?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But who has the institutional power?
I feel like definitely like Asian people more.
They would have the institutional power. Which
That's what I feel
institutions?
like.
Which institutions do you think that Asians are overrepresented in and have the power and are using that power to systemically oppress black people?
I mean, I agree with you that I feel like a black person can be racist against an Asian person, but I feel like they just...
Yeah, but if the argument is whites can't be, blacks can't be racist to whites because whites have the institutional systemic power, okay? Then in this case, I say, can blacks be racist towards Asians? You say, yes. But then when I ask you who has the power, you say that people who have the systemic power in that situation are the Asians. So how come they can be racist to the Asians, but can't be racist to the whites if one has the power in one scenario versus the other one? Hang on, just hear me out. If one has the power in one scenario, they can be racist towards them, and if another one has the power in the same exact scenario, they can't be racist. That makes no sense.
I feel like it's more of a prejudice
Hang on,
than
I'm almost done. It's a performative contradiction. It's an actual contradiction in real time that you just showed us. What you should do immediately after seeing that is abandon that entire worldview. It makes no sense.
I mean, I feel like, I guess, the reason I guess we would say prejudice instead of racist is I feel like it's just kind of like what we said.
Here, or did you have more, Andrew? Or?
No, I think that's enough.
Okay. Here's a question. Let's say me as a white man, right? Privilege, male privilege, white privilege.
Okay, the way they did like the
do
Stop
I
Asian
have-
Hate
do
on
I
Tinder
have-
and stuff so quickly
Wait,
when it
what?
took so long. They passed a bill for that like that when COVID happened. And like how long did it take for them to do that? Like, or I don't think they've even done that for black people. Like that's kind of an example for them having more systemic power. Like they passed this like a Stop Asian Hate bill very quickly.
I'm not familiar with I heard about the bill, but